welcome back. My name is Scott Harik. I'm your primary contact for all-inclusive printing here at Corporate. You've already met Carrie. We wanted to go back to the basics and just explain what the sales process was to you and what it is that we need from you and what you need to get from your customer. So the first thing is we want to establish for you is that we obviously have a relationship between ServIT and Synnex. It's been going for a couple years now. It's been very successful. We're relaunching obviously in 2013. And while I am your primary contact, the possibility that Carrie would be able to come out on a sales call with you or be on the phone with you does exist, as well as she has counterparts in Chicago, a gentleman by the name of Tom.
Yep.
And she has a counterpart in New Jersey, a gentleman by the name of Jack.
Correct.
We can put you in contact with those people if needed, but just know that those assets are available for you to be able to put in front of your customer. The next part that we wanted to talk about was for 2013, one of the new things that you would see from us here at Corporate is we're going to be introducing a scope of work. This is something that Synnex has used for a couple years with their other partners. We feel like as we develop our processes here for the other services, that this is another step that we want to integrate into the all-inclusive printing program. Carrie, if you could explain maybe a little bit about the scope of work and what that entails so that the customer, and why don't you go ahead and talk about the assessment too.
Absolutely. So the scope of work document that we have, it's a way for you guys to gain commitment from your customer. That's going to be vital in ensuring that at the end of the day we get the business. So the last thing you want to do again is spin your wheels by doing an assessment without the right approval, up the line of who's involved in them wanting this to happen. So the scope of work document that we have, which is pretty short, it kind of just lays out exactly what's in it for both ServIT, what's in it for the customer, but who's in charge of what role during that assessment phase. So you've got to collect financial data as to, it's hard to help them save money if we don't know how they're spending it. So we need to understand where they're buying their supplies and how much hardware and service as well. So it kind of just lays out responsibilities for both you and the customer so that we both understand in order to get a complete assessment done in a timely manner and to ensure we have everything we need, that this is how it gets done. So it actually helps just wrap it all back in, gain that commitment from the customer, and it has worked very well for many dealers in the past.
And basically we've already been doing this, we just haven't required the documentation from the customer themselves. But this is another way to get their commitment and their buy-in up front so you don't spin your wheels and waste a lot of time and then find out later on that they were just wasting your time.
Right.
This pertains to the assessment or the audit that we've talked about before. The audit is primarily done through what we call the biggest tool that we use in addition to the human aspect of you collecting data is the DCA, the Data Collection Agent. It's a small software agent that gets loaded somewhere on their network. It's really easy. I can send the instructions to you with the key. But what that allows for us to do is digitally
capture the data.
Thank you. Capture the data from the printers that are out there on their network. The critical part to this, though, is we want to make sure that this is in place for 2 weeks at the minimum, and it has to have an end-of-month capture involved. That gives us a very good run rate that we have to use to develop the quote for you and your customer. At the end of the process, we can deliver back to you pricing. We can use the price per page model that Carrie's talked about before that the rest of the world is using, but our default is the level pay. That's what we use to differentiate ourselves. It gives the client that you're trying to sell this product to control over their budget and control over their environment. Those are the two things that we like to talk about as far as why the level pay is a differentiator for your customers.
Absolutely.
That's pretty much it on the process,
yep.
And then the next part is make sure that you close and get the money there.
That's right.